those have pretty much all disappeared.
In a recent clinical study, an astonishing...
My mom gave me these shoes because they were too small for her, and I had absolutely refused to take them because I thought they were butt ugly. And they're really comfortable. Thanks, Mom. Beautiful fall day here in Maine. Hold on. Something's in the woods over there. They pretty much lost all of their trees here, which in Boston we still have all their trees. Oh my god, all their leaves. In Boston we still have them. So I'm actually right now, scoot you a little closer. It's awkward, I'll just hold it. I'm actually right now on my way to the hospital instead of Dunkin'. God, I can't say McDonald's. Instead of McDonald's, not for the Wi-Fi. My brother is actually in the hospital. Last night around 2 a.m. his knee gave out, which he's had problems with it before, so it's not necessarily new. But let's just hope he doesn't have to have surgery. That's kind of what we're waiting on. So he's getting x-rayed right now. He's getting an MRI done. This weekend is just, it's trying me. So, oh my god. So I just got back. If you can't tell, feeling a little excited. And my brother's still in the hospital. So basically we're still just waiting to hear if he needs surgery or not. I know, Finley. It's an exciting day. It's the best day ever. He always thinks it's the best day ever. But I am home. And Chihuahua is very excited. So basically I am just going to start helping my mom out now. Do some chores, help out around the house while she's at the hospital with Derek. And then when she gets home tonight, we can do stuff together, and then I will write tonight. So basically my writing schedule for the next few days is going to just be writing at night because my mom goes to bed really, really early. Well, okay, not really early, but like 8 o'clock, maybe 9. Can I help you? Can I help you with anything? Okay. Finley's a great writing buddy. He does absolutely nothing but jump on the keyboard. He jumps. He jumps. Ow, ow, ow. You're gonna dig up my shirt. Wah. 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 Whoop. Speak. He bark. Whoop. Wah. Anyway. Ow, you're digging me. Oh, got sharp nails. So that is the plan for today. Today definitely didn't go how I expected. I feel like I kind of jinxed myself yesterday with talking about how life does not wait for NaNoWriMo. And it even waited less so today. My mom took the day off to be with me and to be together. And it turns out she really needed the day off because now she's in the hospital with Derek. And my cat is eating a bug. Kimmy, don't eat that. Yucky. Yucky. She's gonna eat it anyway. Oh, scritchy scratchies. Oh, scritchy scratchies. Scritchy scratch. Finley, I could be at home right now. But then I will be with you! Who wouldn't want to be with you? Who wouldn't want to? He's the cutest dog in the world. My name is Finley. I'm the cutest in the world. I'm sorry. I know you don't like to be held. He doesn't. It's very odd. If you hold him, he gets a really weird face. You want to see? Hi, I'm Finley, and I get really nervous when you hold me because I don't like it. I like to be on the ground. Sorry, that was right in your ear. That was probably really loud. Okay, so let's get to work. Finley, hear that? You gotta get to work. Alright, he's off. Let's go. And I realize I've been really vague about the project. I haven't meant to be. So basically what I'm doing is helping my mom go through our house and get rid of things, essentially. She's got loads of clothes, loads of kitchen items is really the big thing. This summer we were gonna go through and do like a yard sale and donate a bunch of things, and we just never got around to it. I wasn't able to come home as much as I wanted to. So that is what we are doing. I have a long weekend this weekend, and we just wanted to get it looking good before the holidays. And so it's just kind of like a fun little spring cleaning, but in the fall. It's actually better to do it now anyway because it's not too hot. The summer was hot, and so now that it's actually cooled down a little bit but not too cold, it's a good time for us to kind of, you know, give the house a nice look over. I definitely think it's a good idea to do that every couple years at least, to really look at all the things you have and decide, do I really need this? Kind of the art of decluttering, so to speak. I recently did it with our stuff at our apartment, and it felt so good to get rid of clothes, even though at our apartment we don't really have that many clothes because it's small. But even just getting rid of, I think we got rid of 22 clothes. We had to count it because we gave it to Goodwill. But even just that little amount just made the world of difference. And I just feel like when you've got a clean, clear environment, your head space is also clean and clear. And something about organizing and cleaning, it just really, I don't know, my mind loves it. And I feel like, honestly, I do my best creative work after I've had a good cleaning session, because while I'm cleaning, I'm thinking about things. Yeah, anyway. So I am off to go into my mom's room, sort out her clothes, so that way when she gets home, she can look at the piles. Like, I'm gonna do like, basically pull all the clothes out of her closet and dressers, sort it by items, like pants, shirts, dresses, etc. And she's just gonna go through it and say, you know, toss or keep. So that's what we're doing this weekend. So exciting. Yeah. Okay. I'm the worst staller of all time. Wow, I look good in this lighting. I'm in natural lighting. Our apartment doesn't have much natural lighting, so this is nice. I mean, everything's got, we just, you know, in Boston, buildings are taller. You just can't have the open view like this. Oh, so beautiful. All right, time to get clean. Fall cleaning. I'm gonna make it a thing. Oh, and I know I've talked about this before, but the secret to cleaning is a glass of wine, or a few. When I deep cleaned my room a couple years ago, I drank, I think maybe a whole bottle of wine or 2 bottles of wine, not in a day, but over the course of a couple weeks. Something about wine, you know, just makes you feel like you don't mind throwing things out as much. You just kind of like, you know what, I don't need it. And I filled up a lot of garbage bags and emptied a lot of glasses. Well, hello everybody. The reason I am talking quietly is because it is late again. My mom and I got suckered into watching a Lifetime movie. Oh, those things are addicting. So today did not go, I'm just gonna stop saying that. Does any day go as planned? Does it really? I spent a large portion of it in the hospital like I talked about, and then I worked this evening on helping around the house, and then we found out my brother's going to have surgery in the morning. Very fun. So he is preparing for that. So it looks like tomorrow is going to be another day. But it's okay. I mean, I guess I'm glad I'm here to help my mom out, even though it's not in the way we expected. But that's alright, you know? And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, today is the 1-year anniversary of my YouTube channel uploading, at least with my current videos. And I actually spent time today and went back and watched a video, and it's kind of cool to go back and see a video that you filmed exactly 1 year ago. And I watched it, and oh my god, oh my god. I know this is weird to say because I'm at the point in my life where each year I don't really look that different, but I swear to God I can tell I look younger and I sound younger and I feel like I just act younger. I don't know. I'm actually wearing makeup in it though, so where's the real improvement? I was gonna say one thing in my old video. I was really self-deprecating, but I guess I haven't really improved on that too much. I try to at least not be self-deprecating about my writing too badly, just myself, you know. It's funny, in the first video, I never mentioned this before, but I was so nervous to film that I actually had 2 glasses of wine right before I filmed because I just couldn't stop stuttering. Every clip you see I did at least 2 or 3 times because I would just trip over my words. Now I just talk and I just don't even care. And it was so scripted, like even my little jokes I had written down beforehand. Like it, oh my god, it's cute to look back on and be like, oh Haley. And I had just started writing and oh, there's so much little Haley didn't know. I felt like I could warn her. Now here I am a year later and a book is, well, first draft is finished. Not the book I was writing at the time, but a new book. And well, a book I had already started writing at the time, but it wasn't the current one. It wasn't the project for NaNoWriMo I was working on. If you get what I mean. And then there's one point I called Zach my boyfriend and I was like, oh, that's cute, he was only my boyfriend at the time. So cute. Something about sitting here in this room, I mean this is the room I grew up in, it still looks like my childhood bedroom. I'll do a quick scan. My dressers. Don't mind the screen and, you know, some things that don't fit into our current apartment. My piano, and stuff on my bed. All my old posters. So yeah, really, this is kind of how it's always looked since I first moved in here. I was 7, I think, when the upstairs was built. And I picked out this lovely pink carpet that you see. And the desk is where it's always been. I guess the bed's moved around, but that's about it. So, I mean, just being here makes me feel like myself again. Because this is where my mom growing up was always very adamant that our bedrooms were ours. You know, she wasn't one of those parents who was like, I pay the rent, every room in the house is ours. Like, no, our bedroom is ours. You know, she never even told me to clean it. She never told me how to decorate it. She never cared if I spilt something on the carpet, which, I mean, there are some spills. But it was really our space. And my room definitely went through its fair share of messy days, but I've since kind of cleaned it up and I don't know, this summer I moved home to work for the newspaper here. I really went through and cleaned everything, and I thought that was symbolic because at the time I was struggling with something personally, and so to physically clean my space, you know, you get the therapy thing, I'm trying to do the metaphor. Yeah, that was a rough summer. That was actually the summer right before I had started NaNoWriMo for that fall, if you know what I mean. So it was the summer right before I moved in with Zach. And it was rough. It's really rough. And maybe I'll talk about that one day, but probably not, because I love sharing personal things, personally. Like, I think it's really therapeutic, but some stories are not just mine to tell. So when it involves somebody else, I don't really want to talk about it just because it's also their story and they probably don't want it, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not super scandalous, but yeah, that's how I feel. And it's funny, in the video a year ago I talk about people being supportive of me deciding to write full-time, and it's funny that I say that because it wasn't true. I mean, I guess it kind of was. Like, when I would tell people, they're like, oh, cool, but really it wasn't true. And I kind of touched on that yesterday when I was talking, but really nobody felt it was a good idea. So I just full out lied. I mean, I think it's because when I told people about it, I told them that it was temporary, and it was, and I certainly didn't set out to be a full-time writer and never work a day job again, because I knew that I only had enough savings for a couple months, and there was just no way you can write a book and get published and get paid in like, that's just not how it works. Really, you know, I said I quit my full-time job to become a writer, but really what it was is kind of just some time off to focus on what I really wanted to do, and it was really valuable. I think this segment would more go in with my This Is 25 playlist than NaNoWriMo, but it's my channel, I'm going to talk about it. So if you don't want to hear about non-writing related things, feel free to not watch this video, I guess, because I'm gonna get real with y'all for a moment. You know, ever since I was 5, you're instructed to go to school, and your whole life is structured. I mean, you might have some choices in what classes you take when you get to high school, and then of course what college you're going to go to and what you're going to major in, but there's always a plan, you know. And then you graduate college, and suddenly everyone's just like, well, good luck, go with your life now. And you're just like, wait, what? Like, I received no instruction about this. And you just are expected to figure out how to get a job, and how to have a job, and how do you know if it's the right job, and where do I live? And so I definitely struggled with my fair share of existential crisis that everyone in their early 20s suffers with, and mid 20s and probably late 20s. You know, I've been grown up thinking that the arts are for hobbies, and science and math are for careers. And you know, if you enjoy the arts, that's fine, but you do that on the side. You don't try to make a career out of it. And I grew up with that mentality, so even though I always loved to write and sing, and, well, I'm a horrible drawer, so never really considered art, but, you know, with creative outlets, I never actually thought I could make a career out of it until I got my master's degree in journalism, where it was science journalism, so it was still the science element. However, I also started to mix in the creative side. You know, for my degree we obviously took writing classes, and we took one class especially that was narrative journalism, and I was writing, and my story, I want to say right off the bat, wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was not good, and I definitely experimented a little bit too much. I think I wrote it in second person, which is like interesting. But my professor, I met with her afterwards, and she looked at me and she goes, "You really enjoy writing narrative, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I really do." And I had people in undergrad tell me that my writing, like I would write lab reports or just, you know, papers in my science classes or my criminal justice classes, and they would be like, "Do you like writing? Like, do you do this? Like, do you take writing classes?" I'm like, "No, I just like it. Like, I don't know." So I've always had that element, and I guess when I finished my master's degree and I finished my internship, where I was writing for newspapers, I was writing every day, and I thought, you know what? If I don't do this now, and I talk about this in my video from last year, if I don't do this now, I am never going to get this opportunity again. You know, in 10 years, I might have kids and be married and have a house, and I certainly can't take 4 months of my life just not working. Like, you can't do that. I mean, maybe I could if I was successful, but I can't bank on that. Whereas I have this time right now where no one's depending on me, and I can afford it, and I knew I had to do it. And I'm so grateful I did, because, oh my God, if I didn't, I would still be living here. And I don't know where I would be working. I'd probably be working for the newspaper, which would have been a really fun job, but I wouldn't have written, and I would feel stuck just like so many people in this town are. I mean, this is a small Maine town, and you just get stuck here, and you get married young, and you have kids young, and then your kids, you just keep repeating that cycle. I mean, anyone from a small town understands what I'm talking about. And so, was it dumb to move to Boston with no job in sight, to be relying on my boyfriend of less than a year, and to just go with the plan of, I'm just gonna write a book? Yeah, it was stupid, but it was the smartest decision I've ever made, and I'm very grateful that I did. Even though, yeah, from the outside it's dumb, but God, I was 24, and if you can't be dumb at 24, when can you be dumb? You know, that's when you're supposed to be dumb. So I don't know, now I'm 25, and I think your late 20s are all about picking up the pieces of your early 20s, whatever those pieces are. I don't know. I know that I have a long way to go. I know that there's a lot left to do, especially when it comes to my novel. But I now know or have something more than I did before I started. And that's just that I know I can do it now. Because I've already done it. You know, I've written a first draft. So now I know I can write a second draft, and a third draft, and a fourth draft. And soon one of those drafts is going to be the final draft. So I know I can because I've already done it. And I guess that's all I had to vent about that. In my little therapy corner of my room. Oh, this room. If walls could talk, mine would scream because of all the singing I did in here. Man, I would belt out songs, and I thought my mom couldn't hear me. She could. She definitely could. And I used to dance all the time. That's one thing I don't really do anymore, is dance. That's because I've been living in apartments a long time, and I don't want to bother neighbors, and that's kind of sad. I mean, it's respectful, but it's just sad, like, that I don't really let loose. I used to practice my dance moves in front of my mirror over here. I got pretty good, and now if I try and dance from a mirror, I'm like, yeah, I definitely, I'm out of practice. And I used to sit here at this desk, and I bet I still have the folder or the binder somewhere, and I would fantasize about creating a YouTube channel, but I cared way too much what people thought, and so I never did. I even had a great idea for a YouTube channel. I'm not going to say it because one day I might do it, and it's genius. And it would have been a huge hit if I had done it. I know it would have. Like, I know it would have. And I just didn't do it because I cared so much what people thought about me. And I still care a little. Something I gotta work on, but I don't care so much. Clearly, I mean, I upload these videos online, no makeup, probably say things way too personal. But that's just the contribution I feel like making to the world. You know, if my book never gets published, they at least know these videos are online. Yikes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad I do though. And you know, in 1 year, I hope to be back and making another video. Who knows where I'll be? What if my book is published then? I mean, I doubt that because I have to write the final draft and, like, you know, pitch to an agent and then a publisher. So probably won't be next year. Maybe the year after that it will be on track to be published. That would be really cool. So I guess if I'm to sit here and say my wishes for November 3rd, 2018, it would be that Guardians of the Skulls is completely edited and I have a final draft I'm comfortable enough to share with everyone. Like, it's good to query out. I would love to have an agent. I don't know if that will happen or how quick that will happen. And I guess I'd really like to have a book deal and it be on the road to be published. Because even if I were to get a publisher tomorrow, it probably wouldn't be out for another year because it has to, like, go through their rounds of edits and then it has to have a cover and all the promotion, blah, blah, blah. So it will definitely not be out by this time next year. But it'd be cool to have, like, a book deal or something. I don't know. A lot happened within the last year. So I know that there's potential for a lot to happen next year, and I'm optimistic. So I know that I've gotten a little bit more personal in these videos than I did in the past, but that's because I like that this channel is sort of a documentation of my life. I like that I get to look back 1 year ago and see what I did that day. I like documenting it in this form. I like it. So I hope you don't mind if I do talk about my life a little bit. I promise I won't get too vain, but I hope something I say maybe someone out there can relate to, because I know I've watched a lot of things that I've related to, and I know how much it helped me. And so I hope that someone else watches and it can help them. Because like I said, if my books never get published, if my ideas, story ideas never see the light of day, at least I know and I'm in control of these going out. So if this is my medium and the universe decides that, so be it. But, okay. I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna try and write a little bit, but no promises. I know, I'm breaking all my rules. I'm the worst. I'm such a hypocrite. Shame. For shame. Oh, one thing I wanted to add really quick about my writing. I thought it was funny. I talk about how I was behind and like I have like 1,500 words to catch up or like 2,000 words to catch up. And I thought it was so much back then, but since I've written my rough draft, I realized like that was nothing. I will see you tomorrow, where I promise I will write more. I promise that after every video. I know. Haley, you're full of broken promises. You break my heart. I know.